As a horse trainer, I meet a lot of horses who've never received any training in loading or travelling. Over the next few minutes, I'm going to explain how your horse will benefit from good training in loading, concentrating on making them feel at ease and understand what they're being asked to do. I think it's really helpful if you can familiarise yourself with the vehicle that you're going to put your horse in. You need to know how all the fastenings work, how the partitions work, and even before that to have checked whether the vehicle's roadworthy. In particular, you need to look at the state of the floor. Both you and your horse need to wear protective equipment. In the horse's case, it helps if he can wear a leather head collar so that if there's an incident of any kind that it would break in an emergency. I prefer to use a long lead rein to lead the horse onto the horse box, but then have a short lead rein ready so that you can fasten the horse to that once he's in. On the legs, I'd like to have either sports boots or wraparound boots. I also use a pole guard just in case the horse rears, and that should be one that protects the pole properly, not just a thin neoprene one. The handler should wear a hard hat, gloves and sturdy boots. In an ideal world, I think it helps if you can load the horse off a soft surface, and certainly if you're training a horse, you should always load off a soft surface, just in case the horse rears or objects to what you're doing. You don't want him to injure himself. The handler needs to be in a good frame of mind and have a nice attitude towards the horse, and anybody else that's working with them needs to work as a team. It can help if you ask bystanders to actually go away or just to be quiet while you try and load your horse. Unfortunately, so many of them have their own ideas about how to load a horse, and some of them aren't particularly pleasant. I think a horse that's been forced to load may load a couple of times that way, but then after that they'll take the argument back to well before they reach the horse box. When you get to the bottom of the ramp, I would allow the horse to relax and take the pressure off the head collar at this stage. If you put too much pressure on, the horse is going to go backwards instead of forwards. So each time the horse does take a step forwards, I tend to relax again, take the pressure off the horse and then ask him to come forward again. Most horses will load really easily this way, especially if there's a bucket of food waiting for them when they get in there. For a horse to travel is an athletic endeavour. It's difficult for them physically and mentally, and we need to remember that for a prey animal to be taken away from his friends and isolated and travel in an unusual environment is really very hard for them. Whenever you're driving a horse, you should drive as if you're chauffeuring him, but for those early journeys, a journey of about 30 minutes is usually about right. It enables him to learn how to balance and to lower his adrenaline. Some horses will benefit from having a companion when they're travelling. If a horse shows potentially dangerous behaviour such as rearing or kicking out when he's in the horse box, it can be a good idea to have professional help to see whether you can get that horse to be more comfortable in his surroundings. Horses that are worried about being in a horse box cause incidents and accidents.